Finding Peace. I'm Ruby Leona, and I'm so glad that you found my YouTube channel. I'm having a fantastic day. I don't know if you've ever had those days, where it's like, and nothing major is taking place, but I think it's the gift. It's the gift of peace. When you wake up in the morning and you decide to be positive, you are spiritually fit for that day. It's just amazing. It's just amazing when you make an intention to notice the good things, how good your day suddenly becomes. So one of the things that I did was I decided to do some self-care, and I decided to take my lunch. Now, I know that might sound like something little, but I work in an environment that it is easy to eat through lunch. It's easy not to go to the restroom, but taking your lunch, and if you can do it, do it. It's self-care. Work will be there. And so for lunch, I decided to walk outside. And when I walked outside, OMG, the sun was out. It felt good. It was beautiful. So I know my body needed that vitamin D. And then I was very intentional. I wanted to see if I could physically see things that I've never seen before. And it's amazing. I saw beautiful flowers, a flower bed. I know, but I needed that. I needed that to be refreshed. So one of the strategies, the main strategy, and I just mentioned right there, 2 or 3 right there, but I wanted to talk to you today about the serenity prayer. The serenity prayer is a tool that you can use anytime, anywhere, and it puts everything in perspective, and you channel the courage to hang in there and handle your business. And I'm sure you've heard it before. It goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's just that quick. At first, when I learned that prayer, it was just words. But after a while, I began to dissect it. And it says, God, grant me the serenity. That's what I need. That's another word for peace. That's another word for peace and calmness. To accept the things I cannot change. Oh, how many hours do I spend on things I can't change? And the courage to change the things I can. Now, there are some things in my life that I need to change. I just gotta garner up enough courage and make a move. And the wisdom that comes from the seeds that my mom and dad have sown, my grandparents, my godparents, and all those people. My mentor says she's a balcony person. So all those seeds that people, positive seeds, have sown into me, the wisdom to know the difference. Let me show you real quick something else I do. I like to put pen to paper. Okay. So this is my steno pad that I use. I have several of these that I use. I like the steno pad because it's smaller than a notebook, a traditional notebook. And I like that it can be used several ways. I like the fact that there's a red line that can divide. And I teach my students how to use steno pads too. But anyway, see, it says I wrote the word serenity, and I said calmness, peace, plus willingness. That's important. That's my personal formula. So if you want to write that down, calmness, another word for serenity, is calmness, peace, and willingness. So when we're talking about the serenity prayer, we're saying, God, grant me the serenity, or the calmness, the peace, and the willingness to accept the things I cannot change, and the courage to change the things I can. Okay, so if you noticed on here that I have, on one side I put I can change, on the other side I put I cannot change. And so when I think about my problems and situations that I have, I often think about what category do they fall in. Do they fall into the things I can change or the things I cannot change? And that's important. because once I can decide whether I can change them, I can kind of prioritize things. So for example, I cannot change, well, I cannot change my height. Okay, that's pretty obvious. But I often struggle with my weight. I fluctuate with that. That's something that's always on my list. I can change that. I just need to come up with the plan. My financial situation, that's something I can change that. I can't change the fact that my parents are no longer with me physically. That's something I need to accept. Okay. I can change the activities that I'm involved in, but I can't change the hours that I have to work. And that's because I love my job. Okay. Now, if I want to get another job, I can change that. But on the job that I have right now, I have to be here certain hours. Does that make sense? So after I write things down and I put them into those two categories, if I can change or cannot change, then I can move forward. Now, I showed you how I literally write things down, because that puts some space between me and whatever the situation is. Okay? But after a while, once I get into the habit of doing things, doing this, can I change it? Can I not change it? Give me the courage. It becomes something that I do mental. That's my first go-to. When I find myself losing my peace, I'm going around and around in circles. And it turns into worry. See, that's the thing. We got to catch ourselves when we are concerned with a particular thing and it goes to worry. The first thing we got to decide is, can I change it? If I can change it, do I have the courage to change it? And the serenity prayer, it's what helps me get there. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So I hope this has helped you on your peace journey. If these videos have blessed you, please feel free to give me comments. Hit the subscription button and subscribe. Tell a friend. And let's go on this journey joyously together.